With Typhoon Hagibis coming in, we only have a Friday's running for the teams to prepare ahead for qualifying, which has now been postponed until Sunday. A crazy weekend was already predicted here at Suzuka, but it's just got that little bit more interesting. Qualifying and the race rolled into one day. Welcome to the 2019 Japanese Grand Prix. 2 weeks ago, we were in Russia. Now we are halfway across the world. It's round 17, the Japanese Grand Prix at the Suzuka International Circuit. A wonderful circuit steeped in Formula One history, and it forms as part of this year's 2019 calendar with only 5 races left. Round 17 takes part here in Japan, and then at the end of October, we're in Mexico City. The 30th of October now has a new little date, not a race, but an event, F1 in Hollywood. Then, of course, we resume on the 1st and 3rd of November with the United States Grand Prix, the Brazilian Grand Prix in mid-November on the 15th to the 17th, and then we end it all on the 29th to the 1st of December in Abu Dhabi, the United Arab Emirates. In the Drivers' Championship, Lewis Hamilton has a 74-point lead over Valtteri Bottas. Charles Leclerc in 3rd place is in a battle with Max Verstappen and his teammate Sebastian Vettel. And then the battle for 6th is shaping up. Pierre Gasly is now only 3 points ahead of Carlos Sainz, and then Alexander Albon is closing in on that battle. But the battle for 9th and 10th is close. We've got 2 drivers level. Danny Ricciardo on 34 points, the same as his teammate Nico Hülkenberg. Lando Norris in 9th, just a point ahead. Then we've got Kvyat and Perez all level in 12th and 13th and 33. Raikkonen on 30 points as well. Magnussen closing in, but we've got Norris, Ricciardo, Hülkenberg, Kvyat and Perez and Raikkonen in a hunt for that 9th place. Lance Stroll on 19 points and 16th. Romain Grosjean only with 8. Antonio Giovinazzi worse off and only on 4 points. Then we get Robert Kubica on 1 and George Russell on 0. Mercedes have a chance to clinch the Constructors' Championship this weekend. They are on just 14 more points than Ferrari, and they are the champions this year. The battle though still raging between Renault, Toro Rosso, Racing Point for the battle for 5th in the championship, as McLaren are now 40 points clear. Hello everybody, welcome to the Friday practice review, and we'll start off immediately with the news breaking just before the start of first practice on Friday morning was that Saturday is completely cancelled. So no third practice at all, and qualifying has been rescheduled for 2 o'clock Sunday morning in the UK. That's around 10 a.m. in Japan. All ready for the race, which gets underway just 3 hours later for Formula One at 2 o'clock. So it really is quite a big push for Formula One to get this all done in one day. It's been done because the super typhoon of Hagibis is coming in, and Megan was at the touchscreen yesterday to give us more information about it.
Thanks, Josh. Of course, we all know you're not the hurricane expert in the family. Anyways, so this is Typhoon Hagibis. I struggle with the title a bit, to be honest. It's not, well, I can manage. It's actually Joshua who told me the name of a typhoon, because I had no idea. Because I don't really keep up with that area for some reason, because I can never find the right sites to actually go on, though this time I have. Though the site I usually go on is, I'll show you in a second, though it's for, like, hurricanes. Hurricanes are it's basically the same thing. There's in different regions of the world, hurricanes are called different things. So in this region, it's called typhoons, and in others, it's called cyclones or hurricanes. So, anyways, this is where it is right now. You can see right there. That's where it is right now, and that's where. It just tells me where it's going to be, at what specific times, it's estimating when it's going to be. So on Friday at 1, it's going to be here. So that's good. Though it shall affect qualifying, which it will, might not affect qualifying, though I think it will. And also will have effects of the next day, since it's only moving around 9 miles per hour, which Japan is a massive place, so we don't really think it's gonna pass by the time the race is on. That is where the eye is. Because if you're in the eye, the closer you get, the heavier wind speed it is. Though, if you are on the eye, you do get a bit of a break. Anyway, that's where it'll be on Saturday at 10. Oh, keep going over here like it's a touchscreen. Though, so far we can only see up to here at Sunday at 10. Right, so we can see that. That's where it is. And it's been... Well, it formed on the 4th of October. And it's obviously still going on. It's sustaining winds of 120 miles per hour, which is actually expected to rise by 40 miles per hour by the time it hits where the race is, affecting a load of things, because even if they're not near the eye, then the wind speed shall still be increasing, which I do not think, personally, the drivers will actually be allowed to race. So that's the pressure, 915 HPA, which, to be honest, I'm not sure what that actually means. Though all I know is that it's extremely strong. It's affecting the Marina Islands, and this is what I usually use, which I think we may actually need in Mexico, because hurricane season lasts a really long time. And it's like this, National Hurricane Center, because I've always had a passion for hurricanes. So, as you can see here, this is where it says Category 5 hurricane expected on race day, and it's, well, I keep saying hurricane, that's typhoon, which is equivalent to 160 miles per hour, and this is just estimated. It could go higher, it could go lower, it could be exactly right. No one really knows because it's unpredictable. And here we can see the Saffir-Simpson scale, which I do actually love to use because it very accurately tells you what category a hurricane is. And as you can see, at the minute it's a Category 3 hurricane, though that is a Category 5 for what's expected on Sunday during race day. That's all. Basically, I have to say, I personally don't think the race shall continue. Anyway, back to Josh.
So let's get on to the first practice report then on what would be a crucial Friday in running for this weekend's Japanese Grand Prix. Only 3 hours of prep time compared to the usual 4, but it's just a little bit more interesting because the news was that practice 1 would be the single practice session, but if we can't run qualifying on Sunday morning, the results from practice 2 will determine the grid. So that meant that all the team's prep work had to be done in 90 minutes in practice 1, and this is what happened. In the calm before the storm, it was a Mercedes 1-2, but not the way round you think. Valtteri Bottas providing some of the talent he saw at the beginning of the season by winning in Australia, took the fastest time on a 1:28.731. His teammate Lewis Hamilton was in second to get the Mercedes 1-2. Sebastian Vettel was third. Charles Leclerc fourth, and Max Verstappen went into P5. The teams emerged as soon as the green light was given, and the Mercedes pair set the early pace. They went on the medium tyres, but Ferrari of Sebastian Vettel took the lead early on with the soft compound tyre. But their place at the top was short-lived. Soft tyres for Mercedes, 25 minutes left, and they went top with Hamilton, then Bottas topping the timesheets on back-to-back runs, trying to give each other a tow, ready for what was going to happen in practice 2 if it's a qualifying session. Bottas at the fastest time, as I said. Hamilton closely followed, underlying the team's dominance of this circuit. They've won here every year in the hybrid era, by the way, so just like in Russia 2 weeks ago, this is a circuit where Ferrari have got to beat them. Mercedes could wrap up the Constructors' Championship this weekend. They only need to outscore Ferrari by 14 points, and they are the Constructors' Champions for 2019. Grid penalties left them starting at the back in Russia, but Red Bull was strong. Verstappen and Albon really fast in the session as well, and they've got more to give, just sandbagging a little bit in the morning to get ready in the afternoon, because they can turn their engines up to maximum in the afternoon for this Japanese Grand Prix. Of course, they've got Honda engines. Honda sponsor the Suzuka Circuits, the Japanese Grand Prix. They have got a big advantage to get a 1-2 on the grid later on, because they can turn their engines up to maximum, whereas everyone else can't because they're older engines. Carlos Sainz finished 7th, but he was compromised as soon as he left the pit lane. The car cut out with a power unit issue, but they wanted to get it back. He finished ahead of Sergio Perez. Top 10 was Lance Stroll, and Lando Norris wrapped up as well. 2 seconds separated the top 10 of the field. Kimi Raikkonen was just outside as well for Alfa Romeo. He was 12th. Antonio Giovinazzi was not far back as well. He stopped early on with a hydraulic issue on the grid. Renault not very happy at all with their day. Hulkenberg 13th, Ricciardo 14th. New front wing here, but it's not looking like they're going to do anything. But Nakao Yamamoto, during the crowds on Friday, the Super Formula and Super GT driver, the world champion in these formulas, got his seat in Toro Rosso, with Christian Horner saying that he doesn't think he's Formula 1 material, but he did a stellar job in the opening practice session and became the first Japanese driver since 2014, Kamui Kobayashi. But it was a strong session. Danny Kvyat was in 16th as well, so he was still ahead of the rest. Let's take a look at the times then for free practice 1. So Valtteri Bottas topped the first practice session on a 1:28.731. Lewis Hamilton in second, a 1:28.807. Sebastian Vettel third on a 1:29.720. Charles Leclerc in fourth place on 1:29.912. Max Verstappen in the top 5 on a 1:30.046. Alexander Albon P6 on a 1:30.375. Carlos Sainz is 7th on a 1:30.702. Sergio Perez 8th on a 1:38.10. Lance Stroll 9th on 1:39.59. And Lando Norris rounding out the top 10 on a 1:31.001. Romain Grosjean is 11th on a 1:31.283. Then we get Kimi Raikkonen in 12th on a 1:31.307. Nico Hulkenberg is 13th on a 1:31.426. Ricciardo 14th on a 1:31.563. Kevin Magnussen 15th on a 1:31.785. Then we get Nakao Yamamoto 17th on his debut for Toro Rosso, 1:32.018. 17th. We get 18th for George Russell on a 1:32.8. 19th for Robert Kubica at 1:33.484. And Antonio Giovinazzi only completing 4 laps with a failure. He's in 20th at 1:36.887. Friday practice 2 nearly became the first practice session to be classed as a qualifying session, and nearly the first Friday qualifying since the late 1990s, when it was Friday and Saturday qualifying that would determine the grid. The last time that was used was 1995 at the Australian Grand Prix in Adelaide. So we nearly could have that, because we still don't know if qualifying can run on Sunday. But if it is, this could be the grid, and this could be the session that determines qualifying. Valtteri Bottas could start on pole position, so at the moment it's provisional pole position for him. He topped free practice 2, a 1:27.785, a full second quicker than what he managed in the morning. But it was Lewis Hamilton once again second, Verstappen third. He just pipped the 2 Ferraris, with Leclerc 4th and Vettel down in 5th place as well. A poor showing from him today. FP2 not only the final practice session ahead of the weekend, but the potential decider for the starting grid as well. So everyone was out there early on to make sure that we had a good running. When the silver arrows emerged, Bottas came within 200ths of Hamilton's 2018 pole lap in what was sunny but cold conditions at the Suzuka circuit for the second session. In third, nearly 3/10 back, Red Bull's Verstappen was just ahead of the 2 Ferraris, literally by about 300ths of a second, so he was really close. Alexander Albon 3/10 slower in the Red Bull as well, 6/10 off the pace on his first visit to Suzuka. But it was an interesting one as well. Top 10 rounded out by Pierre Gasly in his only session of running before qualifying. How bad is that? They put Yamamoto in this morning, but now Gasly only has 90 minutes to get ready for qualifying, which is going to be on Sunday morning with a cancelled third practice session. So not an ideal situation for him whatsoever. It was interesting though for Valtteri Bottas coming out of the Castillo triangle into the last corner. He spun on the curb and wrecked his tyres, but it didn't bother him. He went in, got a new set, went out and put the fastest time in as well. So the final track action for the weekend of practice, with third practice cancelled, now sees that qualifying takes place on Sunday morning for the first time since Austin in 2015 and for the first time here in Suzuka since 2010. It's interesting though that if we can't get it running, Valtteri Bottas could have taken pole position in what proves to be a very crucial second practice session. Let's take a look at the times. So it's Valtteri Bottas who tops the second practice session on 1:27.785. Lewis Hamilton is in P2 on 1:27.885, the gap exactly a tenth of a second. Then we get to Max Verstappen in third place on a 1:28.066. Charles Leclerc is fourth at 1:28.141. Sebastian Vettel fifth at 1:28.376. Alexander Albon in P6 on 1:28.402. Carlos Sainz is 7th on a 1:29.051. Sergio Perez 8th on 1:29.299. Then we get Pierre Gasly 9th on 1:29.354. And Lando Norris once again rounding out the top 10 on 1:29.358. Kimi Raikkonen is 11th on 1:29.477. Then we get Danny Kvyat in 12th on a 1:29.512. Romain Grosjean 13th on 1:29.553. Lance Stroll 14th on a 1:29.597. Antonio Giovinazzi 15th on a 1:29.651. Kevin Magnussen 16th on 1:29.749. Daniel Ricciardo 17th on a 1:29.859. Nico Hülkenberg 18th, 1:30.334. Robert Kubica 19th on a 1:13.916. George Russell rounding out the grid in 20th on 1:31.071. So a revised timetable then for this weekend's Japanese Grand Prix. No Saturday practice, no Saturday qualifying, but we will still be putting out a programme, especially like a magazine show as well. We'll be putting out tomorrow on Saturday, so watch out for that as well. We'll have a look at some features as well on the touchscreen. And then we'll be back on Sunday morning as well for the Sunday race preview. That will be on at 5 o'clock in the morning, and that will happen. So 5 o'clock on YouTube will happen. Qualifying, well, that is currently penciled in at 2 o'clock UK time, and Sky Sports F1 are running throughout the day for all of that as well. And the race will start at 6:10 in the morning. So Channel 4, they're on here Sunday, no Saturday show, Sunday, 2:20. They've increased their show. They're going to show qualifying highlights and the race highlights in one as well. But the typhoon is due to hit, so Saturday cancelled in Japan. If you don't mind, I'm off to play chess. Bye-bye. Megan, get the chess set.